It is Tuesday, May 12th, and today is Pajama Day. So I am wearing my pajama top, and I hope that you are too. If not, you can stop the video and go get your pajamas back on in case you got dressed. But today for Spirit Week is Pajama Day, so you get to wear your pajamas all day. And I know some of you have been while you've been home, but today we like to see you in your pajamas while you're doing your lessons. And you can take pictures of you doing your lessons in your pajamas. So today's math lesson is going to be our chapter review test, getting you ready for your final test tomorrow. So get your math books and your materials so that you are ready, and we will begin doing our final pages in our final math book. So here we have Chapter 12 Review Test. So for the first one up at the top, it says Lynn sorted some shapes into categories by color. So we're focusing on color. Look at the shape at the beginning of the row. Mark an X on the category that shows where the shape would belong. So we're focusing on color. So look at this. Shape is a blue circle. And then over here we have a variety of shapes: triangle, rectangle, square, circle. And over here we see square, triangle, and circle, but these are all blue. So where do you think this is going to go? If you guessed this group, that is correct. So go ahead now and mark an X on this category. So we are actually putting an X on the category that is correct, not circling it. That's what the directions are asking us to do. So please mark an X. For number 2, draw and color a shape that belongs in this category. So again, we see that this is what category? Is this a category of colors? Is it a category of shapes or sizes? Well, they're all about the same size, so we know it's not talking about sizes. And because they're different shapes, can't be that either, so it must be color. So we need our green crayon. So go ahead and get your green crayon, and we are going to draw a green shape. And you can actually draw any shape as long as it is green. So, and it can be even any size today. So I think I'm just going to do one big green square, just like that. And this is going to belong in this category because it's green. Okay, and now we're going to take a look at the final one on this page, number 3. Look at the shape at the beginning of the row. Shape. We see a red triangle. We see a triangle. Look at the shape. Mark under all the categories that this shape can belong in. Okay, so we see a triangle. So could it belong in this first group of triangles? Yes, it can. So we are going to fill in this little bubble right here at the bottom. I made mine kind of big so you could see it. Red triangle. Could it go here with the red shapes? Well, it's the same color. And since we see a triangle here, we know that this triangle, this red triangle, can also be part of this group. So we're going to fill this in also. Whoops, I did that a little big. All right, so this one over here, the final one, it cannot go in because these are squares and they are not red. So that concludes our first page in our chapter review. Go ahead and tear it out and turn over to the back side. On the back, for number 4 at the top, it says draw and color a shape that belongs in this category. What would belong in this category? Well, let's see. Could we do a triangle? No, I don't think we could do a triangle because there's no triangles here. We see green rectangles and a yellow rectangle, and we see red squares and blue squares. So think for just a moment. What shape could you draw? Because we see squares, we could do square. And because we see rectangles, we could do a rectangle. And it looks like we could do any color. So the only shapes we cannot do are circles and triangles because those are not here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a square, and I'll do a smaller square, and it's going to be blue. So go ahead and draw a blue square, and you can color it in blue. Again, just to make sure you understand, you have to draw a square because that's what we see here, or a rectangle. And it doesn't really matter the color as long as it's one of these. And we see yellow, we see red, we see blue, we see green. So as long as it's one of our 4 red, yellow, blue, or green colors, it would be correct. Now let's go down to number 5. Mark an X on each big shape. Write how many large shapes. So we're going to be doing 2 things here. So get your pencil. The directions again says to mark an X on each big shape. So is this a big shape, boys and girls? Thumbs up, yes. Thumbs down, no. If you said no, that's correct. How about this one? Yes, this is a big shape. So we're going to put an X on that one. How about this one? No. How about this one? Yes. This one and this one? No. So we put an X on these 2 big shapes. So over here next to big, we're going to write the number 2. Just like that. Now it says draw a circle around each of the small objects. So that would be the ones that are left. So we can put a circle around this one and this one. Go ahead and draw circles with me around these shapes. And how many did we draw circles around? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to write the number 4 because that's how many small shapes that we have. For number 6 down here at the bottom, it says draw lines to match the shapes to the way they were sorted. So we see a group of shapes here and a group of shapes here. And down here it says red and big. Are these red? No. Are they big? I would say yes, they are big. So we can draw a line from this blue dot to this blue dot. And now, is this red? Is this group red? Yes, it is. And we can go ahead and draw a line over here. So that completes page 2 of our chapter review. Moving on now to our 3rd page, we see a lot of blue and red on this page. Up at the top for number 7 says sort and classify the shapes by category. Draw each shape on the graph. Write how many of each shape. Okay, so we're going to need our red and blue crayons. So I'm going to start with red, since red is the first we see here, the triangle. So let's count. How many triangles do we have? 1. I'm just going to cross and count with my big fat crayon here. 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to draw 4 triangles. There's 1. No, I'm not doing a very good job. Tell you what, I am going to switch to my thinner and do my 4 triangles first, and then I'll fill those in. So go ahead and draw 4. Make sure you don't draw any more than 4. Take your colored pencil or your crayon and fill them in. Oh boy, I am not doing very well with this. Nope, I can't turn it. So I think I'm going to have to skip. I'll have to just do my best and fill them in like this. So there's my triangles. I'm sure yours are a little bit better than mine. So we have 4 red triangles. Now we're going to switch to blue. And let's cross and count how many blue we have. 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to come down here and draw 3 circles. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Remember, we're practicing graphing like we did in our last 2 lessons, the last 2 days. And then we can go ahead and fill these in. And then we're going to put our crayons down and pick up our pencils. Okay, again, how many blue circles do we have? 1, 2, and 3. That's correct. So we're going to go ahead and write the number 3 here. How many red do we have? Count them. If you guessed 4, that is correct. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up my red just to make it fun and write 4. Okay. Now looking at this graph, even though we don't have to do anything more, which one do we have more of? Is it the red triangle or the blue circles? If you guess the red triangles, that is correct. So repeat after me. I have more red triangles than blue circles. And I have fewer blue circles than red triangles. Now let's come down to number 8. Jake sorted some shapes. Then he made a graph. Count how many shapes there are in each category. Mark an X on the category that has more shapes. Okay, so let's start with the first part. Jake sorted some shapes. That's what he did up here. Then he made a graph. How many shapes are there in each category? So we're just going to count them. How many blue circles are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 blue circles. How many blue squares are there? 1, 2. It says mark an X on the category that has more. So which one has more? Is it the blue circles? Show me a thumbs up. Or a blue square, thumbs down. Which is more? If you guessed the blue circle and have a thumbs up, that is correct. Go ahead and mark an X because that's what they want us to do instead of circling it. All right, we are now on our final page. Turn over to the last page, the 4th one in our chapter review today. It says, take a look at the graph up here. Is this chart sorted by color, size, and shape? Choose yes or no. So we're going to take a look. Is it sorted by color? Do we see one color up here and one color down here? Yes, we do. So we can go ahead and mark yes because we see that we have red here and blue here. What about size? Do we see different sizes or are they about the same size? Well, let's take a look, friends. I see a small square here and a big square here and a medium. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're not even focused. They don't even care about size. They're doing different sizes. So it's not sorted that way. So we're going to put a no. How about shape? Do we have a different shape here than a shape here? We have a red square here and a blue circle. The answer is yes. So just to review and explain, this top is red squares. Squares that are red, sorted by color and shape. Down here is a blue circle, sorted by color and shape. So this graph is sorted by color and shape only, not by size. That's why we marked yes for color, no for size, and yes for shape. And our last and final one at the bottom, choose all of the sets with the same number of objects. So choose all the sets and we'll just put an X. That'll be easier. We've been doing that most of this time. So how many triangles do you see here? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. How many are here? 1. How many are here? 1, 2, 3. And how many are down here? 1, 2. So which groups have the same amount of sets, the same number? If you guessed this one, the triangle. Oh, you know what? We're supposed to fill in the bubble. I didn't even see that. Fill in the bubble under the triangle. And which other one has 3? Is it this one? No. This one? No, it's this one. So these two, the triangle and the circle, I think I can erase. How about if I erase that? I'm going to come over here, friends, and erase my circle because that's not what we were supposed to do. We were just supposed to fill in the bubble. So once again, the directions are to choose all of the sets with the same number of objects. How many objects are here? 3. How many are here? 3. So these both have the same number of objects in them. So that's why we filled in these 2. This one over here only has 1, and the square has 2. So that concludes our chapter review today. I hope you enjoyed finishing up your math books. This is an exciting time to be done. And please make sure tonight that you study and review over your chapter review so that you'll be ready for tomorrow's math test on Wednesday, your final math test for this year. And enjoy wearing your pajamas all day for Pajama Day. And that's all for now. I will see you next time. Take care, boys and girls. Bye-bye for now.